We made it another week. Back another Saturday on Our Black Media with the Watchdog. And how are you doing this morning, Julius?
Awesome. We want to welcome our guest, U.S. House candidate Patty Hewitt. Did we spell your name correctly?
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Okay. There's a slight delay because of a broadband issue somewhere in this state. For some reason, Georgia does not have great broadband, especially in some of the rural areas.
Which is why we need a good public service commissioner.
That's why we need a great public service commissioner, and we need a better U.S. congressperson that can advocate for those things. Carlton has joined us. How you doing today, Carlton?
It's Saturday.
Oh, it's Saturday.
And Carlton is almost in Alabama.
Oh, okay. Well, we got Ms. Hewitt on. And Ms. Hewitt, I know we have a slight delay, but after you hear us, I guess we'll give you a second so you can start answering. But tell us about yourself and the office you're running for and why you're running.
Yeah, happy to do that. And listen, thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on live stream with you today. So I appreciate it. As Julius mentioned, my name is Patty Hewitt. I'm the presumptive Democratic nominee for Congress in the 1st Congressional District, and I will be proud to represent the people of the 1st Congressional District in Congress. I have been involved in politics in this area behind the scenes for 9 years now. I started in Liberty County politics with the Liberty County Democratic Committee and serving on the Board of Tax Assessors, and served also on the Coastal Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
When I moved to Richmond Hill, I became involved with the Bryan County Democratic Committee as a post seat holder for the last 2 years. I've been the chair of the Bryan County Democratic Committee. I have been our elected state delegate to the Democratic Party of Georgia, and I am the treasurer of the Rural Caucus of the Democratic Party of Georgia. And that's because I believe that this district is one that is full of opportunity and potential prosperity for its citizens, and I want to make that prosperity available to all the citizens in this area. I have been working hard to make sure that our communities are represented, and the heart and soul of my campaign are the working families of this district. And that's because I am a working family. I come from the working class, and I understand the problems and issues that working people face. I believe that we need to invest in our working families because working, prosperous families are healthy, prosperous families are well educated, prosperous families have safe places to live and to work and to play. And there are so many rural communities in our district that wish to keep the character of their communities, that wish to keep the character of their families and of their heritage in these communities. But we have to be realistic that our district needs support and it needs services that it's not getting now. So I intend to go to Congress to represent that constituency. There is another reason that I am running for Congress, and that is because I believe in a democratic form of government. I believe that the United States should continue to be the leading democracy in the world. And I will do everything that is under my power and my control to continue the United States as the great democratic experiment it has always been. I spent my professional career commercializing financial services. And what that means is that I have deep experience in navigating corporations, the economy, and regulations. Let's remember, financial services are one of the most heavily regulated industries in our country, perhaps in the world. And I was an expert in those regulations. So I have a deep experience in navigating complex corporate politics, in encouraging, motivating, and achieving consensus in order to reach shared goals. And the shared goals that I am most interested in are the shared benefits of our citizens in this district. This is what's motivating me to run. This is what motivated me to move out from behind the scenes and take my place as a candidate this year.
All right. Well, Patty, one of the things that, our viewers may not recognize is you're running for Congress. And what that means is that's a specific region within the lower part of the state, a coastal area. Could you kind of help us understand the boundaries of the districts? Just, for example, I know we have people in Brunswick and Savannah that are in that district, but help our viewers understand, what does that area look like?
Sure, love to. Our District 1 in Georgia, or CD1 as we refer to it, comprises 15 counties. It covers the entire east coast of the state, from Chatham County all the way down to Camden County. So the entire east coast of the state and everything that is contained in it. And it moves inland west, probably about 100 miles, 75 miles west, to counties like Appling, like Ware, like Pierce, Wayne, Long County, Charlton County. And in addition, I'm proud to say that CD1 has Rincon. We don't have Effingham County, but Rincon is part of CD1.
That makes sense. It's part of gerrymandering.
Yeah, and that's kind of crazy, because I don't understand how you can have Rankin, which is right next to me. I mean, I can walk to Rankin, and where I live at, I can walk to Rankin in 5 minutes, and not have Springfield, which is right next to it. Not have what's the name of the city right next to it? I don't understand how you can not have the whole Effingham. There's nothing else over there besides South Carolina.
Yeah.
So how can you not have that? It don't make sense.
Yep. It often seems to us that logic and governance don't always collide.
Yeah. Well, it depends on who's in charge. If we know that our friends on the other side of the aisle sometimes like to, make things kind of work in their favor, and they'll do things like redraw lines, and as we saw at other races. But yeah, we know what that's about.
Yes, that is exactly right. And that really speaks to the reason why I'm running. And the reason why I'm running is because we have to take back power. We as Democrats have to take back power in this district. We have an opportunity here to flip this seat. We have an opportunity to put strong Democrats in other seats around the district. And I'm working hard with other candidates, other Democratic candidates, to put more candidates into power, because to your point, Doctor, that is what we should all be striving for. Because as we get in power, we will use power for the purpose of good. We will not use power to control. We will use power for the good of the people. And that's why I'm a loud and proud Democrat.
Okay, well, that's great to hear that you're a proud Democrat, a strong Democrat, and all the functions that you hold within the party. That is awesome. Carlton, you got any questions for her?
Not at the moment. I'm trying to gather my thoughts right now, because I'm doing.
Well, I gotta get on you and Robert about y'all thoughts. That's supposed to be done the day before the.
But no, Carlton's a very prolific thinker.
Right now, currently, I'm at work, so I'm trying to manage being on here and also deal with the people the group of people that I'm with.
Okay.
So we hear a cuss word or two, we won't mind.
No cussing. What are your immediate priorities once you are elected, Ms. Hewitt?
Sure. My immediate priorities are going to be look at how I can quickly make changes, or as rapidly as possible make changes that benefit more of the working families in this area. So some of the areas of focus that I will have will be healthcare and healthcare services. Now that includes a wide spectrum So I am thinking about everything from ensuring that women have the right to privacy, safety, and security in their health care, and that those rights are returned to women. I am interested in ensuring that our citizens have access to healthcare insurance that they need so that we do not have double-digit uninsured rates in this district. I'm interested in ensuring that there is investments being made in clinics, in hospitals, in doctors, and other resources that healthcare needs. That's a big priority for me. Another priority for me is ensuring that we are providing affordable and accessible and safe daycare so that, once again, our parents can go to work and know that their children, their young children, are properly taken care of. But that continues all the way through universal pre-K. We should not be forcing our families to go into lotteries and see whether their children are going to get pre-K services. And we certainly shouldn't be dismantling our Head Start programs, which is what my opponent as party favors, but bolstering up and stabilizing Head Start programs and expanding them because they are so beneficial to our children. So once again, my priorities are all about the working families of this district.
Well,
Well, I do got a question now that I think about it, Rob, before you get to going. You know, you shared on your page yesterday, I think it was that, you know, Savannah's become one of the like the ninth least affordable place to live in the United States. So how do you feel about rent control and affordable housing?
You know, this is such a huge issue, not just in Savannah, but everywhere that I go in the district. This is a real and serious problem and a complicated problem. And as we know, there are only so many levers that the federal government has to affect that. Most housing and permitting around building houses and all the rest of it are local ordinances and local government. But even in saying that, the federal government does play a role. And so what we need to do is make sure that our Section 8 housing rules are adhered to and expanded if necessary. We need to make sure that developers are held to account to ensure that there is affordable housing baked into all of the development that happens. We need to put caps on the amount of rent increases that can be applied to renters, so that their increases don't exceed CPI indexes or other logical indexes for growth or expansion. And we also need to make sure that our citizens are living in safe housing and housing that is habitable and available to them without having to worry about issues like mold or lack of water or bad plumbing or the rest of it that we see all over. So these are some of the ways that we can open up. We need to think about how to support and help our local municipalities think about housing and how housing can be deployed for more people at less cost. So I think there is definitely a role that the federal government has to play. And I think we all need to be vigorous in attacking this problem of lack of affordable housing all over the district.
Yeah, I agree with you on that totally, because as we've seen in our county here in Chatham, and it's growing, is the homeless rate will grow as we raise prices and affordability, so will crime grow. And so I don't think our folks in leadership understand that, which is a cycle that we keep repeating. I want to go back to the working family piece. One of the things that we know is that the criminal justice system has a deliberate attack on working families and low-income folks, especially Black and brown communities. One of the things I'm a big advocate of is making sure that whoever goes into spaces of leadership, understanding how will you advocate for a change in the criminal justice system. We know for a fact that it's disproportionately impacting people with low income. So, for example, why are we still jailing people for nonviolent crimes? And so what would be your advocacy around it? Because we know, for example, the criminal justice system is now about being a cash cow, and less about a rehabilitation system.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think we need to think about, we need to begin to rethink what criminal justice really means to us as a nation and what is effective with regards to criminal justice. Continuing to just simply look for opportunities to jail our citizens I look at, for example, the recent laws that were passed around cash bail in this state, that what it does is it criminalizes poverty. It
Yes.
ensures that we are going to incarcerate more people for less reason and keep them incarcerated, and therefore we are keeping them oppressed. So these are trends that we have to stop. And I think it's incumbent on our federal representatives to advocate for that, to ensure, just like I look at some of the work that Senator John Ossoff is doing around the foster care system, for example. Some of it is just making this information more transparent, helping people see what is the real impact of this. We know that Black and brown people are disproportionately incarcerated. That is just a proven fact. We need to continue to amplify that and look for ways that we can put stops to that, put controls around that, to depress or to not advocate for laws with very strong minimum sentences, for example. We need to let our criminal justice, we need to let mercy into our criminal justice, but we also need to remove bias from our criminal justice. And that means we should be investing in better public defender resources so that people that are poor have better defenses. Often that is the only reason they end up in jail, is because they don't have proper defense. We insist that we offer public defenders, but we also ask these lawyers to handle hundreds of cases. It's ridiculous. We have to begin investing in our social services that support our citizens up and down the economic stratum. All lives have worth.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say it like this. One of the a huge issue that's facing people around my age, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people, is student loan debt. Because I know President Biden recently passed away. When you go to apply for a home loan, it doesn't take into account for that anymore. But it still takes a huge toll on people's accounts and being able to maintain their livelihood. Because even though they don't pay them right now and all their interest accrues, once they reach the retirement age, they start taking that money out of their, if we have Social Security by then, Social Security money. So how do you feel about student loan forgiveness or some type of student loan relief?
Yeah, I think that student loan relief is something that is really important to so many of our citizens, because the rules around student loan actually hang those barriers around their neck, sometimes for 20 and 30 years. They are not allowed to be discharged in bankruptcy, for example. There is no way to move away from these student loans. So first of all, I think we need to look at the levers that we have to help alleviate. And that begins, I think, in not accruing debt to begin with. We should be ensuring that all of our children have the opportunity to at least get 2 years of college or technical training post high school. That is an investment in our young people, and we should be making those investments. So with student loan, I also think we need to take a very close and a harder look, and from a regulatory perspective, on private colleges and for-profit colleges. Colleges whose main business model is profiting off of their students. Our schools shouldn't be allowed to profit off of students.
Right.
So I think that's an area of regulatory concern that can be addressed as well.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you, Patty. You know, coming from someone who's done higher education all my life as a career, I often tell people, why not go to a state school or a private school at that matter? But for-profit colleges, you're paying triple for the same. You know, why go to a South University when you can go to Savannah State or Georgia Southern and get the same, if not better, education at a much less less of a price tag? But you know, it becomes predatory, and we all get that.
Right. You know, anytime we introduce profit into an equation, there is going to be corruption. And I think it's up to the government to ensure that they are acting as a ballast and a balance against those forces, because those forces exist. It's up to us to resist them and to ring fence them so they don't affect our citizens negatively. Why do we not want our children to thrive? Why do we not want to offer the best education in the world to our students? We are the richest country in the world. We should be investing in our children.
Okay. Well, we're gonna stand by. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. I'll play it, Robert. And then we'll be back after these few commercials. Okay.
Thanks so much.
Hold on.
Hi, I'm Katie Brewington and I'm running for Magistrate Court Judge. Magistrate Court is often called the People's Court because people represent themselves or are pro se litigants. Magistrate Court handles civil claims up to $15,000, dispossessory proceedings, pre-warrant applications, and good behavior bonds. I'm a great candidate for judge because I have the experience, compassion, and drive to get the job done. I have been a probation officer, a criminal defense attorney, a solicitor, and a municipal court judge, and I will take all of that experience to get the job done. So remember, vote Katie Brewington, May 21st, for Magistrate.
Transformative, that's what Sonia Jackson is. Creative, that's what Sonia Jackson is. Compassionate, that's what Sonia Jackson is. Leadership, that's what Sonia Jackson demonstrates. Dedicated, that's what Sonia Jackson is. Chatham County, there's never been a tax commissioner like Sonia Jackson. She has made the office more accessible, more consistent, more convenient, and more service-friendly. Let's keep Sonia Jackson while she takes the tax commissioner's office to new heights. On May 21st, cast your vote for a great public servant. Vote Sonia Jackson.